knowing the end customer and how your work connects to the needs of the end customer. It's critical in today's world to be customer focused. All the research shows that the most successful organizations have a culture that is customer focused. This leads to the first hint and tip that I suggest for you to build customer focus, which is map how what you're doing connects to the end customer. Maybe you deal with the end customer directly, or maybe you're several layers removed. I'll use this story about Don. Don's boss is in a staff meeting and he gets ripped because a certain software feature has not shipped. And so Don hears from his boss and says, finish this feature immediately. And Don works as fast as he can to get this feature released so they can book their sales. And he does the minimum amount of testing required. He doesn't cut corners in the sense that he does all the tests required, but he does no more. And they go ahead and ship that product. And it turns out it breaks a whole bunch of things for a whole bunch of people. And then all of a sudden, sales is overwhelmed, customer support is overwhelmed, and the whole thing blows up and people start pointing fingers. And the question is, in this story, what does customer awareness mean? What does commitment to the customer look like in this case? You know, Don is the one who best understands what the ramification of an error in this code are, and his boss is one of his customers who says get this out as quickly as he can. But what does integrity look like in an organization? Does Don have the authority and the power, and is the culture such that he can raise the flag and say, we're making a mistake here, don't do it? Remember the Challenger example I gave, the O-ring guy? He raised his hand, but nobody listened. So customer-focused culture makes better decisions in balancing these trade-offs so you don't get in these sorts of situations. I can tell you another story in our organization. We reorganized our development department recently, and we had in the past separated our engineering staff, software engineering staff, from end customers so that they got feedback only from coaches. So customers would talk to coaches and coaches would talk to the engineering staff. And the idea was that the coaches had more perspective by talking to more customers. It'd be more efficient to do that. But what we found was something was getting lost in the translation. And we reorganized so that our engineering staff talked directly to customers. And we found that the communication path was much shorter and much better. So sometimes the idea of being customer focused can result in even changing the way your organization is structured.